I decided to jump on some Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer on the PC. On the consoles, you can't even really do it on those last gen consoles because they've been jailbroken and just hacked and the lobbies are just terrible. But on PC, they have like these IW5X, Plutonium, and like all these different things, all these communities that have dedicated servers that you can play on. So I've jumped in a game. I wound up playing. It's kind of hard to find a server to play on sometimes because a lot of the lobbies are either full or empty on some of these things like IW5X or IW4X, which is like Modern Warfare 2. But anyways, I was doing pretty good until the lobby, I guess either I got kicked out of the lobby or it wound up like disconnecting because I was in a EU lobby, a European lobby, and I'm in America, and I saw there was some players that were like from Iraq and Germany and other places, so I think it was just an unstable connection. But I digress. The thing I wanted to talk about today was actually just how Call of Duty in general is a sweat fest nowadays. Like, I know that this is a really, really niche audience of people playing this particular thing on PC, and they're all probably pretty good PC players, but Call of Duty's just a sweat fest in general nowadays. That's what I've just come to the conclusion of. Like, somebody in the lobby went on the little text thing and typed in, I came on here trying to escape skill-based matchmaking, and this is even sweatier than Cold War or something like that. They said something along those lines, and I think that just kind of is more ammunition to the idea that, Call of Duty just in general as a casual thing is not really... Everybody wants to pub stomp. So if everybody wants to pub stomp and everybody in the lobby's a pub stomper, nobody's pub stomping. That's just what it comes down to. Or only the best of the best, the very, very, very best of the best are going to rise to the top. But aside from all of that, I was watching a video earlier from J-Bo and the Man, another YouTuber, and he was talking about how 150 health just doesn't seem like it's working for Call of Duty. And I would agree. Modern Warfare 2019, as campy as the maps are and all those different aspects, I do think the 100 health makes it so you don't feel the effects of their really bad servers and everything quite as much as you would on Black Ops Cold War or on anything, even on Warzone, because of the higher amount of health. So you're going to notice the lag and everything like that more, the higher amount of health, the more the higher the time to kill is, the more you're going to notice the effects of the lag and stuff like that. And it's like a double-edged sword because a higher time to kill could mean a higher skill gap, a higher skill ceiling, meaning you could, there's more skill involved because you have to stay on target longer shooting a player who has higher health. And also like movement is more of a bigger factor when you have higher health in the middle of the gunfight, staying on target, moving, all these other aspects. And then teamwork as well, because if you have higher amount of health, you're less likely to win a 2-on-1 or a 1v3 or whatever. So it's a double-edged sword because you get these advantages of having a higher skill ceiling, but you also have the disadvantage of the fact that if the net code is not done properly, there's going to be less consistency. I think that there's a potential with the matchmaking, with the higher time to kill, all these other things. They could be trying to push the whole competitive scene onto the casual scene, onto the average player, to try to raise the stakes in the COD League and things like that. And that could be good for the COD League, but I think they're kind of like forcing it way too much because that's the thing. If you try to like force your ideas and force your ideals onto somebody too hard, they're going to push back. Like, somebody doesn't need to be told or forced into being shown what they want. Like, let them know why they want these certain things and let them come to that conclusion on their own. If they're pushing these ideas and these ideals onto the people, but they don't also have a consistent playing field for people to play and experience these things, it's not going to create fans out of the average person. It's just not. Because once somebody reaches a certain level of interest and passion in the games and stuff like that, and they start really learning about the details, they're going to see, wow, like this net code, this whole way that they have a lot of this set up, it's like, it's very contradictory. Why is it so competitive yet not competitive at the same exact time? By a consistent playing field, I mean consistent servers. I mean an anti-cheat. I know they're probably scared to get an anti-cheat because of everything, all the blowback that came on Riot Games for the Valorant anti-cheat. And, I think that they're just going to have to take that risk and weigh that with the fact that people have been asking for the anti-cheat. You're going to have to choose between two evils. Are PC players going to install a kernel level access anti-cheat that runs while the game's playing, or are people going to want to have no anti-cheat? That's pretty much the only two options, unless they have one server side, which I don't think is as effective. I'm almost 100% sure it's not as effective as having one that's basically a rootkit on your computer. And you can turn it off. You can uninstall it anytime you want. You just have to reinstall it when you're playing Warzone if you really don't trust it. But at the end of the day, Activision's going to do what they want to do. And anybody who complains is just problematic.